I'm so sick of scrolling online and watching black Americans sit there and advise their people not to support the immigration movement that's going on across the entire United States.
What did you think that Donald Trump meant by that? Who did y'all think that this was for?
Hope you didn't think it was for me.
See, I'm starting to understand where y'all thought process was now. When y'all decided to vote for Donald Trump. Y'all wasn't voting for Donald Trump. Y'all were voting against black people.
I don't know if y'all saw this video, but they was like, why they not picking up black people? Like, why they picking up all the Latinos and the Hispanics or whatever and calling them illegals and all that type of stuff? But they be saying that we need to go back home. Why are they not sending us back home? Why are they not sending us back to Africa? Just something to think about.
If we're going to start judging the way people immigrate to the U.S., can we start with y'all? Can we start with the Mayflower, Manifest Destiny, Ellis Island? Can we talk about what y'all did when you got here? Trail of Tears, transatlantic slave trade.
So y'all, this is what's flooding in the algorithm right now.
Protesters have taken over Los Angeles, with at least 56 people arrested this weekend as they rallied against Donald Trump's nationwide immigration raids.
Mr. Trump, me wanna say thank you to you for deportation me to Mexico and give me 1 week's vacation. My boss never give me. Thank you for deportation me back to my country. 1 week, I be back.
Authorities declared downtown LA an unlawful assembly area and ordered anyone in the vicinity to leave immediately as they deployed rubber bullets and tear gas on demonstrators. Rioters have set driverless Waymo cars on fire, looted stores, and created blockades on the 101 freeway. Trump ordered in 2,000 National Guard troops, placed 500 Marines on standby, and called for the arrest of anyone wearing face masks. The conflict has sparked a war of words between Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsom, who accused the president of intentionally inflaming tensions.
Keep in mind, we're protesting, but the Americans are the one doing this shit. You feel me? America doesn't even like America. The Mexicans like America.
You ain't burning that flag. I don't care. I'm Mexican. My family's an immigrant. You're not burning that flag. You're not burning that flag. You're not burning that flag. You're not burning that fucking flag.
Now, as all of these protests are happening with the ICE and the National Guard and what's going on with the deportations, some people in the Latino Mexican community have made their outrage at black people for not being involved in the protests, saying that we need to stand together.
Now, the black and the brown community, we need to come together and we need to remember.
First of all, we done told you no. You don't even respect us enough to take no for an answer. We asked you to stop saying the N-word. You said no. And so come together and remember what exactly. Remember that y'all anti-black as racist as a lot of y'all. So we ain't got to come together and do a damn thing. We done said no. Respect our boundaries and leave us the fuck alone.
So respectfully for the black community, I have a question. So if Trump is trying to defund federal...
You know, I was trying to figure out what were you thinking when you made this video? And I think you were I watched the whole thing and you were basically saying like, you want black and brown people to come together to fight Trump. And that's what it sounds like you're saying. And you were trying to utilize whatever Trump is saying, da 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 da.
Bullying black folks into being your pack mules and your scapegoats yet again for your fight for freedom is anti-black and it is perpetuating white supremacist delusion. Period. I believe in functional solidarity. Functional solidarity is the collaboration across culture for the greater good of humanity. Anti-blackness cannot exist there, period. Since the first of my ancestors stepped off of that ship into enslavement to this very day, we have been the social experiment that whiteness used to establish systemic oppression that they would enforce on literally everyone else. It happens to this day, period. These people have convinced you that you are quote unquote better than us because you're not black on the social hierarchy of whiteness. And now because all of these things are happening and we're not going to keep putting our lives on the line in the same way in order to be able to support and to scapegoat and to be your pack mule, now it's a problem.
What's crazy to me, bro, is when they had the BLM protest, everybody was popping out. Every celebrity, YG, the Ball brothers, everybody was popping out. Where's that now? Where are the celebrities now? Where are they protesting now? Where are the teams now? Why is nobody speaking up? Even Kendrick Lamar made a song. Lil Baby made a song. But where's everybody now?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Where's J-Lo? Where's Bad Bunny? Where's Maluma? Where's Shakira? Talk to your own people. Because J-Lo was just up on the pulpit at the inauguration doing this.
Justicia para todos. Let's get
No matter what happens in this country, everyone under that POC umbrella always finds a way to put the focus back on Black people. Obviously, we understand what's going on right now with the ICE raids that are going on in America and Los Angeles, to be specific. But there have been a lot of Latino people coming online asking about Black celebrities.
Black Americans, come here. I want to talk about the LA riots, but in a way that's like removed from the emotion and the political charge that's in the air right now. I want to talk about it from like a clear-eyed, unbiased view. It'll be a little bit long, but just rock me for a bit, okay? First point is that, let's be very clear. Undocumented immigration is illegal in every country in the world. In every country in the world. I'm traveling right now. I've been out of America since February. In every country I've been to, they wanted to know the address I'm staying. That means Airbnbs and hotels. They wanted to know my return flight that I was leaving the country in. They wanted my phone number, my email address, my address in America, and my address in Europe. They wanted every single piece of information they could get about me to make sure I was not going to stay in their country. Why? Because undocumented immigration is illegal in every single country in the world. If you enter a country illegally, they can deport you, they can ban you. So like in Europe right now, I have until I think the 26th of June to leave. If I overstay that by an hour, they have automatic processes right now. I can be deported and banned from ever entering Europe again. As an American, I'm an American. I have an American passport, born in America. It's illegal in every country in the world. So let's get that clear. Now, when it comes to the riots and protesting, I'm 100% on board with people protesting peacefully, making your voices heard, all that good stuff. But my thing is, like, if you're protesting that you want to stay in America, why are you burning American flags? And nothing against other countries at all. But my point is for the narrative, right? Like, if I'm an unbiased bystander watching the news from a narrative perspective, why would you burn the American flag, the country you say you want to stay in, the country that you want to be a part of, the country that you're saying, I deserve to be here, I deserve a shot at American residence and American citizenship. This is the country you want. You're burning the flag of that country, inhaling the flag of the country that you don't want to be in, the country that you fled from, the country that you say was so horrible that you ran from it illegally to risk deportation to come into America. From a narrative perspective, it makes no sense to me. It's like a lot of these people that are doing these riots and stuff, it's not even the people themselves. These are people who wanted a fight. They wanted a war. And this is going to be their excuse to start one with the government. So again, for people that look like me, Black people, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to think. The only thing I'm going to say is we should be very, very cautious about what causes we choose to throw our hats in the ring of. I'll put it that way.
I think we're getting played. What's going on with these Los Angeles protests is not normal. Because when people started burning things down and destroying buildings during the Black Lives protests and it turned into all of this, everybody just wrote it off and thought, you know what they thought. To put it politely. Am I wrong? Like, let's call a spade right now. Black people thought it too. Like, these are real problems they're protesting about. What are y'all doing? And the message of the protest just got lost. And it was a shame, but it wasn't like a stretch to see all of this happening because there is a lot of anger in Black communities, like decades worth of anger. So when I saw this, okay. So I'm just supposed to believe that Hispanic people and people out there for the ICE situation also just want to burn cars and destroy buildings? Seeing how well that went for the black community, like, it doesn't make any sense. It is our American right to protest, and people keep going out there and twisting these protests into some bull. Like, do you see what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with whether you actually agree with whoever is protesting about. I think we should all be furious that whoever these people are who keep showing up in mass and destroying things during legitimate protests, instead of just blaming everybody who was out there. Because when it's your turn to care about whatever the protest is about, you are going to be disgusted watching the heart of your cause get pooed on by the world just because a bunch of randos showed up in mass to carry out their Grand Theft Auto dreams. And you know what would be worst case scenario? When eventually they say, you know what? None of y'all can protest anymore because you don't know how to act right. It wouldn't even sound all that crazy. In fact, some people might even be okay with losing the right because they're sick of seeing the community destroyed. Because the sad part is, I'm not even saying everybody out there is just innocent. I actually know someone who knows a person who was out there burning down the Wendy's in Atlanta a couple of years ago. A normal person, apparently. And that person said, I don't even know why I was a part of it. Everybody was just out there doing it and I went with it. Like, regular people with zero bad intentions can get sucked into this stuff because that's how mob mentality works. And these randos in mass know that. So if you go out to any of these protests, don't take the bait. You see someone doing something like this, stop them. Point them out. Flag the police. Leave them to get arrested. They are not there to help you. They're not down for the cause. As soon as this stuff starts happening, the protest is over. I feel like I just can't be the only one thinking, this is weird, right? Like, surely not everybody who wants to go out to a protest also happens to want to burn a car to smithereens. So let me know what y'all think.
I've seen plenty of American flags out there in Los Angeles being waved around on people's lives and on people's videos, but on the media, not a single one. This is what the media is covering. Are you going to tell me that these people want to live in America, yet they're waving around Mexican flags? And nobody knows anything for certain, but a lot of people are saying that some of these people were hired. Wouldn't this just be perfect propaganda? There must be thousands of pictures of this guy like it was a photo shoot. These are the pictures that they're showing you on the media. Have you seen this clip on the media? The media is not going to show you clips like this. The media is trying to push the narrative that it's all violence over there. Like, look at the flags that they made and look at the shirt that she has. Look at that.
I'm not gonna lie, the way this world really is, Trump needed to win. And before anybody come attack me, I'm not saying I voted for him. One, I'm not saying I don't get affected by him. My family don't get affected. My neighborhood, my area, my people are getting affected the worst. But this is what I mean by saying that. Most of his supporters and followers are the white working class. You know what I'm saying? These people are a little spiteful, racist. You know, they think their whiteness gives them immunity to everything that's happening. But jokes on them, they're going to be affected as well. See, what they fail to realize is Trump's alliances with the super wealthy people. Everything that he does goes against the hardworking class, the poor class, the middle class. It goes against all of us. And just because you're white does not take you out of anything. But he preys on them people. He preys on them not having no education. And he preys on them being ignorant. And it affects all of us. The racism that he uses to fuel his support is a distraction. It's a distraction from realizing that it's not me versus you. It's them versus us. See, he got y'all thinking the problem is us looking left to right. Your neighbor, you know what I'm saying? People at the grocery store, the people down the street, the people on the next block, the people in the next hood. He got y'all thinking it's the problem is right here. Whole time the problem is up and down. The rich versus the poor. They just gonna get more and more and more and more while we getting less and less and less and less. And baby, you being middle class and under, white, black, Indian, Mexican, whatever, baby, you are part of the us, but they're not realizing that. He got their head so far up their ass that they don't even realize that he is bleeding them dry too. Baby, it's them versus us. And y'all not realizing that. See, as everything around us that's falling apart and will continue to fall apart, something that we've always experienced our whole lives as the minority, maybe Trump supporters will realize that their whiteness was never a protection. It was just bait. And then maybe you will realize that these rich white people in power who y'all thought was fighting for y'all specifically was never fighting for y'all. They were just feeding off of y'all to profit their agenda for their lives and their children and their grandchildren and their greed.
I got an unpopular opinion, but I think that Donald Trump might be the best thing that ever happened to America. And I'm not trolling. Hear me out. See, I didn't say that because I support his politics or praise his policies. I said it because for the first time in a long time, America's being forced to look at itself in the mirror, and it's extremely uncomfortable. Ugly, messy, but necessary. See, Trump didn't invent division, racism, or greed. He just ripped the bandage off the wound that the country's been pretending doesn't exist. And in doing so, he made people who were asleep finally wake up. He made people start asking real questions. Why are rights being stripped away? Why is truth under attack? Why are so many clinging to power when the rest of us can barely afford rent or mortgage? See, this is not about loving or hating Donald Trump. This is about understanding that the chaos that is Trump exposed the fractures in our foundation.
Manipulating tragic situations to the benefit of creating more separation is the goal in this situation from what I am observing. When these things are happening, there's an open entry to stir up more drama, stir up more hatred and separation between people. First, it was Black fatigue and the DEI and what's happening with just the racism, the white, they were trying to start a race war. It seemed like the algorithm was basically trying to start a race war between white people and Black people. Now it's Latino and Black people. Seeing beyond and seeing above what is happening to the minds of people when they're observing all of this. I love to see the cognition that's happening with the Black community because of how they're not allowing themselves to be bullied into protesting and then getting blamed for whatever happens that's bad. Also seeing the higher manipulation of everything. If you lack compassion and you're coming from a place that has no empathy, anything that is causing you to have stalemate on your heart, stagnation in your heart, you don't feel, you don't care, and you're just coming off as ignorant in these situations, that is what we don't agree with. We do not agree or support that. Paying attention to the cognition of these situations and not allowing ourselves to be manipulated is my intention with showing this video. More division, more outrage, more blame. You see how it's just all looping in the same energy and it's not transmuting it. And this is what's causing the mirror, being able to reflect on what you're seeing and what's happening and how we can improve. So let me know what y'all think in the comments about this video and what's been going on. But if you're holding any hatred or frustration towards another community in your heart, what's popping up in the media is only going to fuel that more. And it's not going to transmute the real core of why you feel that way.